Halo Show. Mix number
22.
23. 23, silly. We did 22, remember? I don't know about you.
Nga pala, no?
Now it's 23. Michael Jordan. Sino pa 23? LeBron James. Boom. 23. Do you know any 23s? What's significant about 23?
I don't know.
24 is Kobe Bryant next mix.
Kobe. Sige, ako magsasabi nun na.
Kobe.
I like saying that
Don't
word.
forget. Welcome to the Halo Show. Of course, how do we start nga?
I'm Rika.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My name is JC, and this is the Halo Show. It's a podcast about anything.
Yeah, anything under the sun.
Yes.
Whatever.
Halo style.
We mostly go on a tangent like most of the time.
Kobe.
Wait. And then this is also an unedited podcast.
That's right. We just talked through it. Yeah. So far, no sponsors yet. But that's the plan. We'll just talk through this.
Yeah. But, if you have like a product that you want us to, talk about, hit us up,
anyway,
email us.
So the show is basically, about everything. But we do have some form of structure naman. So we talk about our lives. It's called the Week in Review.
Mm-hmm.
So we just talk about what we did in the week so that you can catch up with us because you're so interested in our lives.
Yeah, because we're so interesting.
We also do TTs, which are the trending topics. I have something to say about that actually later. Someone tweeted us something.
Yeah. I saw.
K-pop. And then we do certain things like vocabulary. We talk about like a new word that we learned. We're skipping that today because we got a lot to talk about on the TTs. And sometimes we do like Got This a Question where we answer questions. But I think we have so much to talk about TTs. We're just gonna do a mix full of TT.
Yeah, just TT on TT
on
TT.
A little introduction. If it's your first time here, you can listen anywhere. Of course, the show is about anything, so it's pretty straightforward. You can pick up wherever. But since it is a current, up to the date, trending stuff.
Yeah.
It's
nice that if you listen to the current episode.
But if you want to go back, you can hear about things that
already happened.
Yeah, that already happened. Like, oh my God, laki ng loto dati, no?
Nanalo si Catriona Gay.
We are radio DJs at Monster RX 93.1. In case you're wondering who we are. By the time of this upload, you can catch Rika still, Morning Rush.
And on an afternoon version of Wild and Wicked.
That's me. I'm going to be night shift
Night shift, baby.
By the time you're listening to this, I'll be in the evening. So welcome. And if it's your first time again, what's up? If you're back here, mga Ube Babes, Leche fans, bili kayo ng merch when we start doing merch.
Wait. No, I forgot to bring the sample. Anyway.
Oh, you have a sample already?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's kick it off with Week in Review. What did you do this week?
Basically, over the weekend, nag-check-in kami into 2 hotels because it's my mom's convention for her being an OB or something. Okay. Yeah. So, doctor stuff. So, we checked in Makati Shangri-La, which was super okay because it's Makati Shangri-La. But then I realized, so we had breakfast buffet there, right? I just realized that I like Heat better than Circles.
Describe
Heat
that.
is the buffet restaurant in EDSA Shangri-La here in Ortigas, in Mandaluyong. Mm-hmm. And then Circles is the one in Makati Shangri-La. It's super good also. I love it. But I like Heat way better than. But the top of my list actually.
What's your favorite buffet?
Super duper favorite. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, every day, all day if I had the money. Sofitel. Spiral.
I was,
no.
I'm not, hindi kita kinokontra just because. I've been to Spiral.
Okay, fine.
Okay, you love cheese, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
if you're
a cheese lover, I could understand why Spiral would be your top.
No, also their food and their desserts.
I thought Spiral was okay. It was good. It was good.
You crazy.
I'm not saying it was bad. I just saying
Spiral. That's what I'm saying with.
Do you have a top 3 buffets? Top 3.
Actually, so it's Sofitel, and then it's the
Spiral.
one in Spiral, and then the one in Cucina.
Cucina?
In Marco Polo.
Okay, I've never been there.
Cucina.
I've never been there.
Yeah, so that's my second, and then my third one is Heat.
Heat. Mm-hmm. I like. You know what? I enjoyed New by Vikings. Oh, what are you doing?
No, that's not part of the list.
Are you talking about hotels lang? Hotels lang. Okay, sige. I like Seven Corners in Crown Plaza.
Okay.
Heat is really good. I've been to Heat a couple times.
Heat is really good.
There's one in the Holiday Inn in Makati had a good one, but I've been only twice, and so far it was good. Yeah, I think that's pretty up there. I've been to a lot of hotel buffets though. I'm not really sure.
Like they're all just food.
I've been to a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, masarap sa Boracay.
Oh,
Sa
2 seasons?
The Lind.
The Lind.
Sarap dun. So expensive.
Oh, yeah.
It's expensive to stay
Everything's
there.
just so expensive. You kind of just do it like once in a blue moon, though.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah.
Okay, back to your story.
Circles was really good. I loved their bacon. It's like, para siyang dipped in sugar or something. It's like caramelized. It's so
Like
good.
Canadian bacon?
No, it's like still strips. Hindi siya yung Canadian bacon na malalaki. It's still strips. But then I think they cooked it with sugar or something, which is super duper good. And then, after that, we checked into Maxim's, the one in Resorts World Manila, which was convenient for me because...
You went all the way from Edsa Siang to
No,
Resorts World?
Makati Siang.
Okay.
Yeah. So super lapit lang, like 10 minutes. It was convenient for me because I did makeup again for Ang Huling El Bimbo.
Oh, yeah.
And this time around, we were just 4 makeup artists. We were supposed to be 6 kasi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so 4 makeup artists.
Ilan yung mini-makeupan ninyo?
It depends kasi sometimes yung artista parang they don't like to put makeup. I mean like, ayaw nilang magpa-makeup. And then sometimes gusto naman nila, ganun. So it really depends on the parang yung
Their
feeling
Okay.
nila that day. Because you know how, alam mo parang they get into the zone, they don't want to get disturbed or whatever. That's why my personal rule when I put makeup on other people, I only talk to them when they talk to me. Especially if
you said
they're...
that before.
Yeah, especially if they're actresses and actors. Kasi nga, you know, they have like a lot of things on their mind. They're like going on stage in a few hours, ganun. So, super never ko silang chinichikan. And I never ask a picture of them with me.
Right.
I'll just take a picture for the makeup. But wala na yung...
For your portfolio.
Oo, parang pwedeng selfie tayo.
Yeah.
Wala na. But I don't judge people who do that. It's just that it's my personal
Sure.
rule.
Okay.
And then, that was really fun.
Speaking of plays, didn't you go see Angels in America?
Yeah, we did. Hazel, Chico, and we went to RCBC. Actually, I drove all the way to Manila Hotel to pick up Chico, which was super stressful because we went to the side streets
Kasi
of
traffic.
Mandaluyong. Yeah. And then, pumunta pa kami ng Makati after that. And you know how Makati is super complicated, right?
Puro one-ways now.
As in, so super naguluhan kami. But it was okay. The play was wonderful. As in,
It's
parang...
long daw, no? 3
It's
hours.
3 hours, but you won't feel that it's 3 hours.
Yeah. I saw, I think Lea Salonga had a post about it. Like 3 hours and it was still like you want more.
No, but oh my goodness, like the last few minutes talaga, it's...
I want to watch it.
As in,
I'll ask Marky for
masyashock
tickets.
ka. Super masyashock ka sa lahat.
Is it good for a date?
It's
Feel ko hindi.
not.
No, right?
It's for a really, really good friend. But I guess if your date is an enthusiast,
Like
alam mo
a
yun,
drama,
like a theater enthusiast, she would really appreciate it.
How would you describe? Because I honestly don't know anything. Because Angels in America is a play that's like it's a international play. Right? It's been. How would you describe? What's it about? I don't know anything about it. Actually.
It's about lives of people with living with HIV/AIDS.
Parang Rent pero walang singing.
Yeah, and a little dark.
Darker,
A little
okay.
darker. Kasi Mormon yung yung iba doon.
So it's like a heavy drama.
It is.
about-
But, you know what? It's nice kasi merong comic relief.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's like really, really funny. Like, as in slap on your knee funny.
Who played the comic relief? Do you know?
Lahat naman sila eh. May parang mga lines sila na parang matatawa ka or something. And then there are other, merong mga jokes na parang magigets mo lang siguro pag like, Amerikano ka or something. Alam mo yun, yung parang the reference is like...
Parang Venmo.
Venmo. Or like their reference is like about the government in America or something like that. Kasi parang may mga iba. Although, I must say, there were moments na parang medyo confused ako because I don't know what they're saying anymore because it's so deep. Alam mo yun? It's not like you'll get it right away or you'll get it all the time. But, alam mo yung by context naman, magigets mo what's happening. So
it's a small cast, right? Isn't there like only like 7 of them or 6 of them?
And then some play like 3-4 characters. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tapos minsan hindi mo mapapansin na, oh my gosh, si Sherry Hill pala yun. Even though they only have like, 7
actors.
7 actors. So it was really good. And I mean, I would love to talk to Marky about like because I have so many questions and I just want to know yung mga backstage stuff. Alam mo yun, yung mga what happens behind the
What's
curtain.
impressive to me is how they memorize their lines.
Yeah, grabe. And they have like, there's this one actor there, Art Acuna. He had
monologue.
Like, they have a lot of monologues, but he has like a really good New York accent.
Oh, wow.
As in yung parang taga dun siya. I loved hearing it. It's like caramel in my ears. Ganun siya, parang I just wanna hear him talk like for hours and hours about whatever it is. Okay. Ganun siya kagaling. Tapos,
Sino yun? Art
Acuna?
Okay. So that's a theater. He's a theater like
theater guy and also TV guy, I think. Wait, let me check. But I know it's Art.
So check out Angels in America. I think it's still going for at least 3 more weeks as of this recording. It's March 26th. We are recording early this week.
You're gonna see Marky there.
Marky Strome.
Oh my goodness, grabe yung pants ni Marky, super sikip. As in like, ma-appreciate mo yung butt niya talaga. Sorry, Marky.
Ganda ng puwet ni Marky.
Yeah.
It's really
kasi
firm.
it's really firm. I mean, like,
search mo lang sa YouTube, Marky Strome, bench under the stars.
Like, hindi ko na-touch or whatever, but I know it's like nice to touch, I guess. But yeah.
Peachy.
Kasi, yung first few seats niya, naka-side siya. So, you could really see the profile of his body. Yeah. So, wala lang.
I see Marky works out here. Because Marky, if you don't know Marky Strome, you know him. Most likely. Filipinas Got Talent. Diba?
Yeah.
Or Philippine Idol. I forgot which one he joined. The first season.
Yeah. I think Philippine Idol. Or not?
I think PGT. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But anyway, he works out in the booth here.
I think he works out everywhere.
Grabe, no? He's so fit. But then when you see him eat, he eats whatever.
Yeah.
He eats trash.
Oh, no.
Well, no, I've seen him. When we have parties here, he just eats a lot. Because he works out a lot. Kasi beast. Goals.
Goals pa talaga siya.
Yeah.
Even with the butt. Yeah, there we go. Arthur Acuna.
Ay, maganda puwet ko, ha? You wanna see?
No, thank you.
You wanna smell? What else did you do after?
After we checked in, okay, unfortunately, yung breakfast buffet, it's like a big thing kasi for me. Okay. Breakfast buffet in Maxim's, they didn't have bacon.
I'm a sausage guy.
That's unfortunate.
I'm a sausage ako. Yes,
I'm more of, but even their sausage was not good. Alam mo yung parang pale. It's like chicken sausage na pale.
Yeah.
Yung parang it's a little
sad.
Sausage. It's a little
sad.
sad.
Get you,
but what I liked there is they have their own make your own taho, which was legit.
Taho?
As in legit yung taho nila.
What do you mean
No, I mean like isa-scoop mo yung soya and then you put the sago and then you put the...
What else do you put in there? You put the tofu.
Yeah.
And then the
tofu, the sago, and the syrup.
That's
Wala
it?
lang.
Walang customizable na, ano? When I think do it yourself, I'm thinking like there's like lots of options.
I guess you could put like cereal or whatever, but I don't know. But that's what I did. I appreciate it because I love taho.
Me too.
Yeah. And then obviously the bread. Oh my goodness. I can't forget about it. I'm a bread lover. And butter.
Alvin, one of our co-DJs who listens, he
doesn't like bread.
He hates bread.
Even bread adjacent.
Bread adjacent, oo nga, no? On a sandwich.
After that, I just went home.
That's it?
And then again, I encountered my very serious problem in my condo. Kasi I always fix my condo on Fridays. And then on Sundays, my laundry comes. And then now it's all messed up again. So I can't. It's a vicious cycle. So there we go. It's my week. How about yours?
My week was okay naman. Well, I went to Pampanga this weekend. Yeah, my lolo passed away last Saturday.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Kind of, he's old na talaga. I mean,
Were you close? Were you close pa?
You know what? Not as close as I am to my lola. But you know, it's just something. My lolo was. He was weak already for a long time already. But he's an OGI fighter. Like, okay, so the story was when I was younger, I forgot how old I was, maybe like 10. These guys came into our house.
Okay, what?
Yeah, and tried to steal my lolo's car, dude.
No.
Yeah, legit.
Like when you were inside the
house.
No,
I wasn't there, but my lolo was there. And my lolo wouldn't give up the car. Beast, right?
Yeah. Ano ginawa niya?
No, inaway nga.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he got shot. My lolo got shot before.
No.
Yeah. And he survived. Gangsta.
What?
Yeah, so he's really a fighter talaga. And,
he lived a full life.
Yeah, he lived a full life. Yeah, a lot of grandkids. I mean, he had a lot of, he had six kids. My mom was one of them. plus grandkids. I think he lived a full life. So yeah, I went to Pampanga.
Natuwa ba siya nung nakita ka niya sa TV? Di ba usually lolos and lolas are like,
Actually, he heard me once on the radio before. My mom told me about it. And he's like, hi, Jay. Like, he was saying hi to me.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, so rest in peace to my lolo.
Rest in peace.
I went to Pampanga over the weekend, you know, because actually this week, later on this week, I'm going to go to the actual burial, but the libing, whatever, is there. Actually, that's what I wanted to talk about because I've been to a few parang wakes here, but I find it so fascinating, the whole process. Because in the States, actually, I don't know. I haven't been.
Diba it's like straight from the...
I think so. Usually, walang there's not like a whole process. At least that's just me. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's a Pinoy thing. Maybe if a Pinoy person dies abroad, same lang siguro. But I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I just found it so interesting. So, I've been to a couple wakes, right? And the one thing that's always prevalent there is the hospitality.
Yeah.
Gets mo? Like the people who are there, who are grieving, you know, in so many words.
They still have time to like prepare food.
They put food, and then every guest that comes, they're like, kumain ka naman.
Dito, magkape ka muna.
Right?
It's kakausapin.
It's so like, I was like, man, that's so, I mean, even after death, like the family still accommodates yung mga families of or friends of the, you know, the loved ones.
You know, I think it's also nice because although you need to grieve on your own, it's like coping mechanism for family members.
Yes.
You know, sometimes that they can spend time with other family members, remember the moments with the deceased and everything. So,
the spirits are usually high, which is kind of
it's like
strange to
it's
me,
not high. It's like peaceful.
Peaceful.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, not high is maybe the wrong word to use, but peaceful. Maybe content, because a lot of times people who pass away usually they're suffering, diba?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can take solace in the fact that they're no longer suffering, and I think that's how I kind of, you know, made peace with it. I don't know. I was sad, of course. I was sad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, because what happened was he had a stroke like 3 weeks ago, and then they amputated his leg because something about the blood flow, whatever. Dude, he was, you know, he's the 80, I think he was 85, 86, diba? And he has no more leg, and he couldn't even talk anymore. So it was just like, man, this sucks. Like, just seeing him like that was so difficult. But seeing him, you know, now that he's passed, seeing him, you know, embalmed, whatever. Like, he looks like, I mean, I know he's gone, right? But he looks happier, you know what I mean? So, wala lang. It was cool that people are so supportive. Like, family members come. It's so strange now how people get the word across, especially older people. I know I'm generalizing.
It's like,
but how
everybody knows right away.
Everyone knows right away. And some of these people I know for sure they don't use the internet. So like, how do you find out? Blah blah blah.
I think it's just, especially in the province, talagang when you hear like news about someone's death, talagang that's like the first thing you talk about.
That's
you
true.
know?
Speaking of the foods, sorry.
Na feeling ko lang they know who to pass on
to the words to.
Alam mo, hindi lang just to anyone.
Yeah, because me, like, for example, if it happened to me, I only have my immediate family. I don't have any contact with the extended family. But somehow all these extended family people just came out of the woodwork. They're like, hey. I just want to talk real quick about yung food, yung uso yung butong pakwan.
Yeah,
oh
sobra.
My God! It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. I went there kasi I went to Pampanga with our friends, Reese and Mart from the Foodie Station. Follow them, by the way, IG, at the Foodie Station.
The Foodie Station.
Good food photos and content. We went there, and you know, since we were already in Pampanga and we had time naman, we checked out some of the local foods there, local, you know, like favorites of mine. So we went to Junjun's, which is so good if you love barbecue and bibingka. Junjun's, Milas, if you've ever been to Milas. So if you ever go to Angeles, go to Junjun's, go to Milas, go to like Nepo Quad, like near Nepo Mall. There's like chocolate di batirol.
Oh, yum!
Downtown Cafe is really good. Basta, lots of good food in Angeles.
And I mean, like, Pampanga is really known for their food naman talaga, diba?
Sisig, especially sisig.
They're really proud of their cooking. I feel like lahat ng taga Pampanga marunong magluto or something.
I think Pampanga, I think, they're known for beauty queens.
Beauty queens.
Queens and food. It's true.
Yeah.
Beautiful people and delicious food. I think that's what Pampanga is really known for. I mean, for at least in the perspective of Kapampangans. I don't know
Yeah.
about non-Kapampangans, but if you ask Kapampangans what they're, what they're proud of about being Kapampangan, usually it's the food and looking good. That's pretty much everything I did. Yeah, that's all I can really. That was really the highlight of my week. I mean, not highlight, but like that's
what happened.
The most prominent thing that happened this week. Ano pa ba? Did I do anything else? Did I host or something?
Did you go to the gym?
I did. I've been going to the gym. Yun lang. I kinda,
Consistently?
yeah, I have been, dude. A lot of people saying I lost weight. Totoo yun.
So nga pala lalo sa jawline mo there.
Totoo yun.
No, actually, I went again. I used my credits for electric. I went to electric again. So now I have 7 more, and I'm excited.
Ayaw mo maging instructor.
I
We were talking about that, Rika and I.
I want to, but I don't think I can. Like,
You don't think you're fit enough?
yeah, I don't think I'm fit enough. Although I can like train for it.
Oo nga.
It's just that I do cycling for fun kasi.
You don't want it to be a job.
I mean, I know it's gonna be fun when I do it as a job, but I don't know. I'm just not sure.
Okay.
You know, it's like something I'm not sold.
Yeah. What else? Just a quick side note. When Reese and Mart and we were in Pampanga, we were talking about doing stuff in the area.
Mm-hmm.
We want to climb Pinatubo. Sama ka?
Wow,
Tara,
sige.
let's go.
G ako.
I really want to go. I've never been there.
How about beer house?
Beer house?
JC has a wonderful story about that.
What, beer house?
De, joke lang.
May beer house? Okay.
Joke lang.
Basta may kwento after. Okay, Titi, sound effects nga.
Okay.
Anong open? We should need a theme. We need a sound effect for it. Titis. Okay, anyway, if you guys can think of one, how would they send it to us? Ita-type nila. Okay, Titi, first thing, the double plate thing. The double plate, which is,
They had like a protest.
Okay, well, don't quote us on this. First of all, the double plate thing is like, there's a rule or there's a law or something that was, I don't know if it was passed or whatever.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Like
is it in the
plans.
works? For motorcycles to have a license plate on both the front and the back, and it has to be, there's like certain dimensions, has to be big, reflective yata, and para kita yung license plate.
Yeah,
and
it's like a size of a bond paper.
Okay.
Short bond paper. Parang
laki,
ganun. Ganun siya kalaki.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Kasi it could cover your face. It could even cover the headlight, which is dangerous.
Okay, so anyway, before we get into that, our thoughts on that. Basically, that's the reasoning behind the people who wanted to do that is because you can, for traffic laws, so they can enforce it so that witnesses can see the license plate. So if there's CCTV, if
it's clear.
If there's a riding in tandem or something, makikita yung license plate, blah blah blah. So that's the reasoning behind it. And then over the weekend, I think Sunday yata yun, no, there was a parang rally of all these motorcyclists who were against the.
Apparently, it's a nationwide protest. So it wasn't just here in Luzon.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's just
How do they organize that, no? Facebook, no? Usually.
Super daming rider groups.
Diba? Ganun yun, okay. It's so impressive to me how you can organize. Well, actually, okay. I think it's more impressive in the 70s, yung walang Facebook. But I still think it's impressive to gather that many people.
Apparently, there were 3,000 motorcycle riders. Just in Isabela. So
that's the one with the statue or whatever. Yung
I think so.
Rotonda or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw a picture. Okay, so first of all, your thoughts on the double plate.
Okay,
whatever.
so I know people kasi personally who are avid motorcycle riders. And they made a good point eh. If you're a criminal, number one, you're not gonna ride a motorcycle with a big license plate. You're already a criminal. You might as well take out the license plate and ride the motorcycle and use it for your crime. Ano yun? Parang criminal ka, tapos sabi mo, hindi, kailangan natin gamitin tong license plate na to kasi nasa law.
Double plate law.
Diba? It's like, it's weird.
So riders think that they're being grouped in with criminals, no? These people who protest. Parang ganun yung iniisip nila.
That's one part, That's like, on some level, they also think that. Number two, again, it's, did I say A?
I don't know. A or one? B or two?
Anyway, number two, it's like, again, it's so big that some motorcycles mako-cover yung headlight. it will obstruct like yung gulong nila or whatever
I was
because
thinking,
it's not the same.
It's
not the
meant,
same.
right?
Yeah.
There's no. I've never seen a front plate on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So there's
lagi lang sa
nowhere to
likod.
put it.
You know
Paano
what?
ikakabit yun?
Actually, sabi sa akin, yung the size of the plate now, pwede pa siguro yun sa front because it's it's smaller. But with the big one,
gusto nila both are that size, the big one.
no, I think yung sa front.
Lang.
Oh,
really? The
but
front?
No. Wait, I think also the back.
Well, dapat
Kasi,
the back eh. For me, the back. Okay yun.
It could be. Sabi nga din sa akin, and some motorcycles kasi, iba-iba yung forma eh. Alam mo yun?
Oh, there's dirt bikes, there's sport bikes, there's
yeah.
mga hard,
And
parang
yung mga, what do you call
choppers.
this? Handlebars are also different.
Yeah.
So, minsan, magkakaroon ng obstruction when it's that big, or even the headlight, or even the, the, what do you call it? Fender or something.
Yeah.
So, it's really, number one, convenient, and then also, just plain stupid. A little.
Okay, so on the other side of things.
Yung sa likod,
right.
I think, sabi nila sa akin, it's actually possible.
Yeah.
If it's that big.
I think
Kasi
so
it's
too.
already past the gulong or not. Anyway.
On the other side, because you said you knew a lot of people who ride, diba?
Yeah,
I'm sure
tapos
they're your
parang,
friends,
they casually talk about it. And I've picked up some stuff na parang naisip ko, nga no, parang, exactly, like why would a criminal, use a motorcycle with a big
one,
license?
yeah.
It's weird.
Me, on the other hand, just from the initial, when someone told me what it was, at first I was like, that's not a big deal. But then, when I really thought about it, there's no place to put it in the front.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought about the whole crime thing. Like, a criminal would not put two big plates.
They're already doing a crime.
But, you know what? I agree with the bigger plate on the back.
Okay.
If kaya.
Yeah.
Because I get that there. Because it's hard. Let's say a motorcycle scratches your car. Tapos bigla tinakbuhan ka.
Hindi kita eh.
So in that sense, if they could just make the rear plate bigger, I don't know how big. I've never owned a motorcycle with a license plate, like one that you can use on the street. So I don't really know how if that would affect.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the look, I get it. Like, motorcycles to some people are like cars, like where you really care about the appearance of your bike. You want to soup it up.
Yeah, exactly.
So medyo eyesore din yun I understand.
Naisip nga din, because ganun nga, parang I've been listening to conversations. You know how politicians and the mga artistas, they have like really good looking bikes? I don't think they'd agree that a big license plate would be in front of their really expensive big ass bike.
True.
Can you imagine? I mean, we know politicians who are avid riders, right?
Yeah.
So that's just one thing to consider. And then, yeah. But I mean, I agree naman talaga. There should be changes. It's just that I feel like they didn't consult people who really
own bikes.
Yeah, who own bikes.
Yeah. It's. I feel like that's. I mean, we don't like to get too political. Right? But a lot of like laws and whatever laws are like proposed laws. It's like there's no research. It's like they didn't do a FGD. Parang walang focus group na they didn't target the actual people who would be affected. They just like assume that it'd be, two plates makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And can you imagine all the riders, they're gonna register again?
Yun nga yung
like
hassle
the
dun
lines and the, as in like, let's say gawin na nating online lahat. I mean, kaya may upkeep
How would they
ba
send
ng,
the plates?
Diba?
It's
and like, even
logistically, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Also.
And not everyone owns like a laptop or like computer, mga ganon. Diba? It's
a lot of actually, because motorcycles are in essence, the cheaper form of transportation. I mean, it's cheaper to buy a motorcycle than a car.
It's also cheaper.
More often.
Cheaper to rent.
Cheaper to rent, yeah.
Everything.
So a lot of people who own motorcycles, usually they, not a lot, but people who own motorcycles, usually they don't own a car. Mm-hmm. So it's because it's cheap. So some people don't have access to certain things also as well. So I think that it's good.
It's so weird.
It's a difficult process, especially for people maybe who come from low income or don't have internet, but they have a motorcycle.
It's so weird that a country that where a lot of people ride motorcycles, they don't make it easy for them. Alam mo yun, they don't make it easy for them to just ride in general in Metro Manila specifically. Alam mo yung parang kailangan, alam mo yung parang everything is just so inconvenient for them.
Right. But also just on that other end again, a lot of motorcycles are douchebags on the road. Mean, just.
But I mean,
I don't think I don't think this double plate thing is because of them being douchebags. But I also get why this double plate thing was
parusa,
even. Parang ganun eh. It's like well, you better stop like riding in between cars. Like I hate it when they ride on the side, like on the side.
The thing is, it's not illegal. They can actually like ride on your side.
They're so dangerous. Like I get it. Like okay sa akin if it's like a slow traffic, but when it's moving and then they go on the side, like on your left side, on your blind side.
How are they going to overtake you?
No, that's what I'm saying. Okay naman, if the traffic is moving,
just stay on
just
your lane.
stay in the lane because it's moving. If it's not moving, then siksik ka. I mean, I get it.
Don't tell me hindi ka pa nang overtake ng car.
No, I've overtaken cars, but if it's going slow and there's free space, what I don't like is when the traffic is flowing, like it's pretty nice flow.
Like normal
flow, as in it doesn't really matter if you
if you cut that. It's like we're talking about menstruation. Normal flow.
Tapos minsan heavy flow, di ba? But yeah.
Yeah, okay. I get you though. But
okay. All right. So no sound effect next. This one, do you want to go with the one that you wanted, the Silicon Valley girl first?
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Okay. So there's this girl going viral, actually woman. She's actually a 21-year-old entrepreneur, and she's basically a Silicon Valley big
Startup,
shot.
Big shot.
Yeah. I just don't get why it's a big deal to be in Silicon Valley. Can you explain? I don't know why. Like, what is it? A city or like?
It's like an area in California
that
was well known for being like the tech startup hub.
Okay.
So yung mga I'm just basing this off the TV show Silicon Valley, but yung mga Google and everything everything kind of.
Nandun yung Apple.
Yeah, it's like everything kind of just. That's where it rooted itself in the tech world, and like there's a lot of tech startups there, a lot of incubators, blah blah blah.
So like,
once
you
again,
saying
based off the TV show,
when you put up your business there, it's just gonna shoot up right away?
No, man. It's like people are trying to make it out there, and if you make it in Silicon Valley, that means you are known in the tech world. Like you've made it in the tech world, kind of like acting is to Hollywood. So if you go to Hollywood, that's just I'm just guessing.
I get it. No, I get it though.
I think that's what it is. Correct us if we're wrong. Correct me rather if I'm wrong. But I think I'm right.
Okay. All right. So it's a big deal.
It's a big deal to be in Silicon Valley and making things happen over there.
Okay, so this is pretty interesting because you know how I'm interested in true crime.
Yeah.
This is like a different kind of crime. Okay.
Who is it?
So this woman, her name is Elizabeth Holmes. So she's a big shot in Silicon Valley, and then she had a startup company called Theranos. So it's a company.
How do you spell that?
Theranos, Theranos. So it's a play on therapy and diagnosis. Okay, so it's like this machine where you just put a few droplets of blood and it will instantly recognize diseases, whatever's wrong with you, with your brain, and
that's possible.
Yeah,
right? That's happened.
That's happened, but like this is just like a few droplets of blood.
It's like a DIY. Like you don't have to go through a hospital. Or
no. It's in hospital.
It's in a hospital.
Binibenta niya talaga to hospitals.
Okay.
So it actually looks nice. It's very chic, and again, yun yung claim. You know, like instant. What do you call that?
Parang
recognition for diagnosis. There we go.
What's the difference between diagnosis and prognosis? By the way, I don't
know.
Okay. Anyway, yung tech the lab people who listen to us.
Yes, please.
Let us know.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys know about this, but yeah. Actually, it was valued at $10 billion. Damn. So she was actually named at one point the youngest self-made female billionaire. At one point, this was like 2005. So,
years ago.
So yung board of directors niya,
for
this company, it's pretty impressive, and it's important kasi these are very important people, and they could really make change.
So they consist of what?
And
not actors, politicians?
No. So there were two former secretaries of state.
Wow.
And then 2 former secretaries of defense.
So government people.
Yeah, and 2 U.S. senators, former U.S. senators. And then there's also the software dude of Steve Jobs, the head of software of Steve Jobs. So they all.
I'm guessing they're on the board because
they invested.
Because this technology
could revolutionize, the medical industry.
Yeah.
So now, actually, even I don't know him, but I know of him. Like, alam mo yung parang I've heard his name, Rupert Murdoch.
Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah.
I know RuPaul.
Sabi niya, sabi dito, he's a media mogul.
Murdoch.
Yeah. Rupert Murdoch. He's a media mogul. And then there's also the Kraft family behind the New England Patriots. The sports team.
The football team.
And then, apparently, she lied.
She lied?
Yeah. I guess it doesn't work. And now she's facing up to 20 years in prison and just awaiting charges for wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud. And there.
That's so strange,
So...
She's a billionaire.
She's a billionaire.
She's a billionaire already. And then she decided to try to fake her way through this Theranos thing.
Yeah. It's so weird because she's such an interesting person also. So when you see her, she's a blonde white woman, but when she talks, she has like a baritone voice, like a really, really low voice, like lower than mine.
But she doesn't talk like that.
But apparently, may nag-expose sa kanya ng actually like a number of former employees. They said that's not her real voice. And then somebody also recorded her when she's had a few
drinks,
wine. Hindi ganun talaga yung voice niya. And I heard it. And she's obsessed with Steve Jobs. She also wears a turtleneck. And then I don't know if that's how they do it, but obviously recorded lahat ng speeches niya when she sells the products and everything. She would always focus on this one line. The line was, oh my goodness, I forgot. Basta it's about like, it's about death or something. Basta ganun. Parang may inuulit siya na line. Paulit-ulit. Right. In all of her speeches. So like, obviously people are exaggerating, but they're calling her a psycho already.
I could see it.
I mean...
Do you think the reason why... Because she said she's obsessed with Steve Jobs, right? Do you think the reason why she tried to sell this product, do you think she was delusional and maybe she actually thought it worked?
It would work.
Yeah, it would work.
Yung parang in the process,
yeah,
it
like
would
she
work.
could be the medical, like the Steve Jobs of the medical
world.
It's
possible kasi parang at first people were super impressed with the product and then even her employees, meron sila mga 50,000 shares in the company and everything. But then as time goes by, parang nakikita na rin ng employees niya. And her employees, not even the board or directors or whatever, which means it's so easy to see that there were like hiccups.
Right. It reminds me of, you watched about the Fire Festival?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something
that
like
guy.
that.
What's his name? I forgot his name.
What's his face?
What's that?
Yeah.
That guy. The guy, the mastermind behind the Fire, FYRE, the Fire Festival.
Yung parang he would just like put out fires in the middle of it, but you know that it's gonna be a disaster.
It's like yun nga, that whole grand scheme, like, you know what, because like the Fire Festival, Billy something.
Yes.
I forgot his name, but basically it sounds similar in the sense that they were pitch grand ideas, but there's no like backing. But they were brilliant, like their minds are really like business minded.
But they just don't know how to
they can't deliver.
Materialize.
But they can sell.
Yeah.
So
ganun din, even her speeches talaga.
How does that happen? Like, how do you sell
a
product that for us, right? We try something before we buy it. It's so dumb.
You know what? I guess when people who have a lot of money, they would be like, I'm impressed, I'm going to give you my money, and then we're just going to talk about...
That's actually how a lot... Actually, now that I you know, like Kickstarter? You know Kickstarter? So there's like... Or GoFundMe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... it's called crowdfunding, if you're not familiar with the concept. So I don't think it's that big here in the Philippines.
It's
in
not,
the States.
because we don't have money here.
No, but I think there's a market for it,
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe we should start. Wow.
The Halo Halo
Delete.
Show
How do you delete that? We need to make a big. But crowdfunding is basically people can pitch their ideas, whether it be a product, it be a service, blah blah blah, and they try to reach a certain goal. So let's say Rika makes a product, like that medical box, but it might just be in a prototype phase. But they we need $10,000 to make it go into the second phase of whatever. But here's what this product will do, and people will pay. Some will pay with the intention of sana getting the product. Some are just donating.
They just want to support the product.
The cause. And it a lot of Kickstarter slash Kickstarter. I use Kickstarter because I think it's like the OG, one of the OG crowdfunding websites.
Tsaka it's been referenced in movies and TV shows.
Basically, a lot of those startups they fucking fail. They don't deliver as promised. Like the product sucks, or the product never comes out and never sees the light of day. So it's always a risk when crowdfunding. I feel
the reward is also big.
It is big if you hit it big.
Yeah.
But it's rare.
Apparently, some employees, former employees, say that they have a super toxic work culture, work environment when they worked under Elizabeth Holmes. So there are a lot of things going on. You guys can Google it also because it's super duper interesting, and there are a lot of aspects to it. And I mean, obviously, there's the money, and then there's the employees, and then the board of directors and everything.
There's gonna be a Netflix document.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Hindi kasi parang
it's
what?
Fit for it,
yeah.
made for it, diba?
Kasi you know what? It's also super interesting when something like this happens. Kasi it's not like killing or it's not like theft or whatever. It is, I guess, theft in
it's
a sense.
white collar crime.
Yeah,
so they call it.
But still, it involves a lot of money, and who's gonna pay for it in the end?
Yeah.
That's
white
how it
collar
is.
crime. Usually, it's yun nga, wealthy white people. I know I don't think I'm generalizing, but usually it's ganun yan.
Yeah.
Because
you know what?
The rich white guys and girls in the States.
It really just baffles me talaga how they can get away with it.
Well, because they got money, dude. They're so used to it, and yun nga, it's a I would venture to say white privilege thing.
Yeah, I guess
if you want to get really into the political and race part of it.
But now she's super under a microscope, and even considering the aspect of she's a dropout from college, and alam mo yung mga ganun na those personalities na can't function in let's say in a situation parang college or in school.
Yeah.
They can't communicate well and stuff like that.
It's also kind of now you say dropout or whatever. Diba Bill Gates was a dropout?
Yeah.
There are certain people who I know Bill Gates seems like a sane guy naman eh. But there are a lot Mark Zuckerberg, he's social. I mean, based on if you watch The Social Network, I know it's not super completely accurate, but you can get that vibe in it. Mark Zuckerberg is kind of like a parang medyo douchey na outcast, but he has a brilliant mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people make it through it, a la Zuckerberg. But I feel just one wrong turn and Zuckerberg could be
insane.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah, parang it just takes a few bad turns.
Because you know how for me,
good turns.
Clearly you're already lying, and siguro for them when they're doing it, parang gina-justify siguro nila na no, in the end I'm gonna help a lot of people. I just need to lie now to get to somewhere.
The Fire Festival guy, he really believed, because in theory that would have been really cool. That festival. Yun nga. And this box or whatever, I know the Thanos box. What's it called? Theranos box. The Theranos box would have been really great if it really worked. So, sayang.
Parang diba, can you imagine if it really worked?
Yeah. Just a few drops of blood. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do a lot of, yung mga blood tests.
Yes. And instant daw talaga yung results. As in,
which should have drawn a red flag right away. Because I don't think we're at that point in technology.
So there. Okay. That's another crime story that's
ongoing now.
Yeah,
right?
It's ongoing.
Okay. So cool. All right.
Cool.
Okay, speaking of, this one, okay. I didn't know how to, paano itawid yun.
Go.
MMK.
Speaking of,
okay, MMK.
Okay.
Maaalam mo kayo. Sing it.
Maalaala.
Maalaala?
Ay,
Hindi ba maaala?
anong ibig sabihin na maaala? Ano yun?
Oo nga, tama.
Maala.
What is it?
Maalaala.
Maalaala mo kaya. Sing it. You know the song?
Maalaala mo kaya.
I
don't know the lyrics.
Okay, so if you don't, I'm sure most of you know if you live here or if you have TFC, MMK, it's a show that kind of depicts like letters or like stories written by people who are real people who have usually yung mga gusto ng mga Pinoy dramatic. It's about love. It's about getting hurt. Or it's about inspirational.
Yes.
Serve to do
Success.
However, there's been a controversy regarding numerous episodes. Over the course of the airings.
Yeah.
Most recently, this one, and how do you say it? Aita? A-E-T-A. Aita. Si Mai entra.
Okay, so before we start, we're not bashing or speaking ill of the actress.
These are just viewpoints.
Yeah, viewpoints. And plus, it's not her fault din naman because, there are other people deciding for her.
Let's describe that now. Let's describe muna what it was. So, Mai, she's playing an actress. Very popular actress. Grabe. And she in the role for MMK, which I think will be coming out soon, as of the time of this recording is not out yet. It's about she's playing this Aita character who based on a real life Aita woman. Her name is Judith Manap.
Okay.
Judith Manap. So it's about like a Aita girl who won like parang beauty pageants in her area, something like that. So the controversy, of course, though they made her in terms of makeup, her and the other cast members who are a little more light skinned, they darkened their skin tone.
Okay.
So people are calling foul, saying that it's blackface.
And
it's cultural appropriation.
This isn't the first time, huh?
Yeah, it's happened before.
Yeah.
And there's also another MMK episode where they got a skinny, I forgot which actress that was, skinny actress to play a chubby girl.
Yeah.
Who fell in love with like a hot guy. That was the title. It was like hot guy falls for chubby girl. So that was another controversy.
Okay.
But back to this one. So people are calling foul on it. People are saying that it's not right. Why didn't they cast someone who has that skin tone to play the role of Judith? And it's a very hot topic right now. So what do you have? I have a lot to say about it.
Go. You first.
Okay. First of all, cultural appropriation. If you don't know what that is, I'm not super sure of the if there's like a catch-all definition, but basically it's when one culture adopts elements of another culture.
Okay.
Now, this usually is problematic when it's a dominant culture, so to speak, adopts one from a less dominant or disadvantaged or what's the term? I forgot. But a disadvantaged minority. So in this case, Aita is a more of a minority, and like the making their features darker is kind of like that's the act of cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
In this sense. And I get it. It's problematic. However, this is just my thoughts on it. People are calling for why didn't they cast an Aita? Why didn't they cast whatever? And I'm sure there's the talented Aita actress out there who could probably do the role justice. Yeah. With that being said, you have to take into account that this is entertainment. Like this is meant to draw in as many viewers as possible, and Mai does that. If you don't know, Mai has a huge following, like legit, as in parang K-pop levels, where if you say anything wrong about her, their fans will fight tooth and nail. Legit, they will defend her, and that's what's happening right now. Some people are saying that even though maybe like it's wrong to do the blackface, and I think it is naman. But at the same time, it's reaching. It's because the story is about it's lighthearted. It's hopeful, so it can also serve to inspire as well, especially for people who might not know about the story. So in that sense, I also understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I okay. Okay, what do you think for?
I do agree with you
Yeah.
on some level. I do get that, my has a certain kind of traction that nobody can
That at
you
least
know,
there's no Aida
level
actress
with.
that I know
Yeah.
that could bring that kind of
Okay, but just think about this, okay? It's not, I'm not fully selling you the concept. I just want you to think about it. If that's the only reason that, they want a lot of people to know about the story of this Aita, or of this episode,
this episode, this story.
the story of this episode. I mean, this is a company, or this is like a, what do you call that?
Yeah,
Ang tawag mo
corporation.
a corporation, a company that has like a lot of resources.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, they could have used those resources to promote this story without just a single actress doing it. So just think about that. Maybe they could have.
Yeah.
Diba? They could have. I would understand if it's like a small theater, something like that.
Yes.
But this is, again, a big company with billions and billions of pesos who could have used it to promote it to the whole nation. I mean, I get it that My has like a certain pool of fans na hardcore talaga, and that's a sure thing.
Yeah.
Sure na manunood sila. But then they also have the whole nation watching them every single day without My.
That's why I was thinking, if you put any MMK episode on, there's people who are gonna watch it anyway, right? So I get that also.
I mean, there's also social media, and I know a lot of I know some episodes na previous episodes na nag-viral because it's such an interesting story. They could have used that one. I mean, they have all the resources in the world, and I'm sure My did a great job, and it's already done, which.
And she's very sweet. I've met her. I'm sure when she people are saying, why didn't she turn down the role?
Why would you?
Why?
Diba?
Well, I get it. I get why people would be like that, and it's also because it's different. I feel like so there's a tweet, right? Someone who works in TV said, if you work in a TV production, someone on Twitter, if you want to look for it, just look for it. If you work in TV, you know that you can't just simply do that.
No. Yeah.
A lot of things need to take into consideration, like the acting background. I don't think the actors being colored like that is a thing. It's just to represent them in the best way that they can.
Yeah.
That's someone replying in response to why did they pick My in the first place? Yeah. But yun nga, it's if you're contracted with, let's say, a big company like ABS-CBN. And they tell you, it's your job, eh? You know what I mean? And it's okay. There's a lot of actors out there who are very culturally aware, and I'm sure a lot of actors and actresses would turn it down. But they're like My. She's a kid, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm not super familiar with her backstory, but I think she came from.
Oh yeah.
She came from like
she's from.
Parang Drake started from the bottom, right? Now she's up there. So she's taking these opportunities because this is a big opportunity for her.
You can't just say no to it.
I mean, she could say no to it, but I feel like
she?
She could. I think.
Okay.
I think, but if I was in My shoes and I was in her frame of mind, parang this is a opportunity for her
of a lifetime.
It's a big thing.
It's MMK.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just it's you have to also think in terms of her perspective as well, because I don't know.
It's like at the end of the day, let's just put yourself in her shoes. Yeah. Alam mo, what would you do?
Because I don't know how old she is. Let's say she's 16, 17? I don't know.
Ganun.
Ganun.
Well, before 20.
Imagine you came from like a really low income background. Because now you're making all this money, and you have an opportunity to make more money. To and to inspire and they're pitching it to her.
Yeah.
I'm sure whoever pitched this episode to My saying, probably they didn't tell her you're gonna cultural appropriation. They're telling her you're gonna make people happy. You're gonna share this beautiful story. You're gonna serve to inspire and whatever.
Yeah.
And she would say yes. You know what I mean? Like you have to look at that as well.
Like with that said, actually, I'm gonna repeat what I said before. People don't do stuff to hurt other people.
No, they don't.
I'm sure when they were thinking about this episode, when they were thinking about My and the story and everything, they were all just thinking about what's her name?
Si Judith.
Judith.
Her
They were
tweet,
all,
my
diba?
tweet was, abangan po next week ang puno ng pangarap, inspirasyon, sikap, at pagmamahal sa buhay ni Judith
Yeah.
Manap.
See, I mean, I'm sure 100%. Yun nga, like you said,
They weren't going into it saying we're gonna fucking take your culture and make it make a mockery out of it, diba?
Diba? Parang it's all with good intentions, and that's what you have to think about. Although it's nice to be critical about these kinds of things,
it
it's
brings
nice
a discussion out.
But again, it's a discussion and not a fight, okay, guys? Nobody will win. Nobody wins in a war, okay?
I was thinking about cultural appropriation was something that I never really thought about until Black Panther came out.
Okay.
And then everyone was doing the Wakanda forever, right? And then people were like, no, you don't do that unless you're black. And I was like, why not? Why can't I do it? It's part of the movie. But then that's when I really realized about cultural appropriation and how, for example, a good example that I saw, I forgot, it was on a talk show, like, you can impersonate a British accent.
Yeah.
Irish accent, even like a German or a Russian accent, and it wouldn't offend someone as much as if you impersonated, let's say, an African accent.
Right.
And I was thinking, why is that? I never really thought about it. But then it's because you are taking like an underprivileged culture, and you're kind of,
they're part of the minority.
Part of a minority. Which then begs the question, how are we ever going to accept a minority culture as an equal if we can't also...
If we only look at them as a minority. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking then. But it's a very sensitive thing. Because... but it makes... Yeah, wala lang. It's very... what I mean?
If you think about it also, they were part of the minority for a really long time.
Yes.
So you can't just like switch it away.
No, not at all. Not at all. But
diba?
it's also it comes with acceptance. So there's got to, maybe in the future, hopefully, we can I wouldn't say like make a mockery of it. I'm just saying like sana it would be just like a British accent.
Yeah. Yung parang normal lang how we react to it. Yeah. But you know what? My feelings towards what do you call this, cultural appropriation is like when you say, how come there's no Men's Day and there's Women's Day or something like that. Alam mo yun, it's so weird. Like, I can't explain it to you, or like, we can't explain it to you if you're not part of the minority. Yung parang ganon.
I get it. Because as me, I know there's a big thing now, right, with like gender or whatever. As a man, sometimes I think about that, like, why are they so angry about this? But then I'm not a woman. You know what I mean? I won't get it. I won't get it. But then there's also times when when we talked about, what was it, like white supremacy or whatever, blah, blah blah, not supremacy, but you know what I mean. So like white privilege, white privilege. So people who are white, sometimes they don't see it, and then I'm like, what? You don't see it? But then that's because I'm not white. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I understand that whole concept. So MMK.
But like living in California, I'm gonna just like go on a tangent. Like living in California as a Filipino,
daming Pinoy.
Yeah, you don't person. You didn't feel like a divide or
no. Because in California, I feel like if the Midwest or whatever, where there's more white people than let's say Asian people, and there's a more incidents of racism and blah, blah. I feel ko yun.
But like, did you ever feel
Never.
unsafe?
Never.
No, when you went to another state or something.
Well, I've only been to states na medyo democratic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There wasn't that stereotypical like racist na tyrant that would just go over. Never. I've never felt unsafe in the States. But that's because I was going to places where I feel like we're
safe.
Well, culturally, where they were culturally accepting in terms of all cultures. Never. At least in me. But I've had friends who've had experiences. So it's not like you're immune if you go to these so-called safe spaces. Yun. So yeah, MMK. Wala lang. We just want to talk about that. It was interesting. It was interesting.
Like I said, it's nice to talk about it. So don't stop talking about it. I feel like that's the key.
Yeah.
Diba?
And I think we've talked about it before, where people they're so close-minded that you won't, like, if you have a stance on something, like every other stance against it is wrong. But I don't think it's the case. You just have to talk about it. Okay.
And it's something that we're not even fully. We don't fully understand it, so why be so closed off?
All right, last thing.
Go.
That's one.
Pangit.
This one, I found that. I don't know if it's wrong that I found it funny. The headline, because it was so.
What is it?
No, the headline was.
Okay, what's the headline?
Oh, yun lang. The headline was vegan influencer. Okay, vegan influencer. No, fans outraged as vegan influencer is caught eating fish.
Like actually, the fish was on the plate, tas biglang nilagay niya sa mouth niya?
Okay.
Or was it just on the
no.
plate? Because it could be part of like a meal of someone else.
Okay, so here's the story. Yeah. Okay, I found the headline so funny because just the thought of like
Was
people
it ridiculous
outraged. They're
for
like,
you?
"Oh my God, she's eating fish! What the fuck?" But then the more you delve into it, medyo serious nga
Okay,
siya.
go.
Okay, so a vegan YouTuber and Instagram influencer. Her name is Yovana Iris. So YOVANAAYRES. She has over 3 million combined social media followers. I checked nga, dami. So now she's being condemned by her foodie fans for faking her lifestyle and making money off of it after she was caught eating some fish. Because vegan is just plant-based.
Yeah.
So bawal
Even your lifestyle.
Yeah. So even your skincare, diba dapat. So she was caught like eating fish in another person's video yata.
Damn. Okay, go.
Yeah, so basically she was caught eating fish like in a video.
Okay.
Boom. And the big issue now is because this influencer girl, Yovana, I forget. Yovana. She sells like parang not meal plan or like a programs like $99 for like a 21-day raw challenge, as it says here. So basically, she was monetizing her lifestyle, meaning everything that she was saying is she was speaking as truth.
Yeah.
Like, this is really good for you, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, that didn't sit well with her fans when they found, oh my God, you're eating fish. That's bullshit, right? So, what was originally funny to me kind of turned sad because I was like, oh my God, oh man. Imagine looking up to someone and trying, you buy their plan only to find out that she's not following it.
Yeah.
Okay, so she posted a video, one in Spanish and one in English because she's Spanish, Spanglish. She explained that her vegan lifestyle was kind of taking a detriment on her health.
Oh.
So that's the problem. So she was selling a lifestyle, but in reality, she knew that it was kind of not good for her health.
Oh gosh, then that's dangerous. Then
she said that she had like a yeast infection. She also like her period was like irregular. Yeah. So she said that she was starting to feel desperate for her health and to find a solution.
Aww.
Blah blah blah. So yun.
Did you feel guilty that you left it?
I kind of felt guilty, but at the same time, like, she shouldn't have been selling this stuff.
I know,
because it's potentially dangerous to her
and her
millions of followers. So yun.
But then again, I think it's like money matters. Alam mo yun, yung parang there are contracts and everything that you can't just stop it right away.
Yeah. So the reason why she kept it from her followers is because she's been on a plant-based thing for over 6 years. So it was a difficult. This is her words. It was a difficult decision for me, meaning her, to make, and an even more difficult decision for her to communicate with everyone. Okay. Because imagine you built a whole career on this, and then all of a sudden you can't do it anymore, but you're making money from it. So it's kind of hard. You're like, should I just continue?
Yeah. Like, again, there's the opportunity. It's already there in front of you.
Yeah.
Diba, parang...
It's, man.
But,
so a lot of people are up in arms, syempre, mga vegans out there. Because I'm sure there are vegans out there who are living good lives na vegan lang talaga.
Yeah, like the one I'm following, Ellen Fisher. She went through 3 pregnancies by vegan. Vegan.
Okay. How would you feel if this, what's her name?
Ellen Fisher.
Yun, what if Ellen Fisher suddenly may video na kumakain siya ng bacon?
I love her so much.
Diba? So you'd feel
a little confused. Yeah, because I don't know, parang alam mo yung parang she already sold a fantasy to me na parang she's living a good life with this plant-based diet, and actually she doesn't call it a diet. She calls it her lifestyle. She just calls it her life. So
that was the thing that I just wanted to talk about because it was like, damn, I know it's so mean, right?
You know what?
But it's just like all these. Can you imagine? I mean, the thought. What was funny to me? I know it's mean. I know it's fucked up. But I'm just imagining.
Because you're fucked up. It's
No,
fine.
I'm just imagining. I'm watching a video. Let's say I'm a vegan. No?
Okay.
Tapos bigla nakita Di ba bigla nakita putang ina, kumain ng fish. Like that was like the reaction. Like,
like,
oh my God, she's fucking eating
alam mo yung
sushi.
yung parang gutom na gutom ka na because you're following her meal plans. Biglang, tangina, ba't ka kumakain? Ako hindi. No. But I get it though. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's such a... For me, the thought is... Initially, because I'm not a vegan, it's so ridiculous that people would be so affected. But then, if you put it in their frame, okay, I get it. Kind of like,
kunwari ikaw na lang, so meat eater ka, diba? Tapos may pinafollow ka na meat eater. Tapos kumain siya ng vegetable. Ganun ikaw.
Pechay? Kumain ng pechay?
Eggplant?
Yeah. So anyway, to all the vegans out there, I know there are a lot of...
You do you.
You do you. Just be careful, I guess, with your... I mean, I'm not one to speak, but, you know, so if you're really pursuing... Because I felt it when I try to use, like, diets or whatever. If I try to stick with something... Sometimes it's not good. You really need to go through like a nutritionist, or a dietitian. I don't know the difference. Nutritionist, dietitian. I don't know if they're one and the same. Feel ko hindi.
Feel ko hindi.
Yeah, but
like, why would you have different names for it?
I don't know. But basically, you know, your body is different, and you can't just what do you call it? Like take in somebody's diet or fitness routine and assume that it's gonna be good for you. That's why actually you see those like. Before starting an exercise plan, please consult with whatever.
Before.
Even on the gym equipment, there's a sign there that says please consult with whatever before using. And no one does that. I mean, some people do, but not a lot of people do that.
Actually, that's why I'm super thankful for my instructor. Kasi he took into consideration my back. I have scoliosis. And it was like, alam mo yung first time ko yun na encounter. And I've had multiple coaches. Tapos parang, ang gusto niya talaga is he has a plan with building muscles on my back para supportado yung bones ko before we lift heavy stuff. Alam mo yun? So, it's like, but I'm lucky na may ganun akong coach, but for some people, they would just, hurt their backs.
That's true.
Right?
That's an issue then with CrossFit, diba? Some people say that the form of CrossFit for CrossFitters, not that there's anything wrong with CrossFit, but like a lot of people get hurt doing CrossFit because they don't know how to do it, or maybe their CrossFit instructors are not good. I'm sure there are a lot of great CrossFit instructors, but
have you ever tried CrossFit?
Yeah, that fucking shit is so difficult. My God. It's like, fuck.
Hell.
Kasi yung gagawin mo, you'll do like 30 push-ups. Tapos bigla, maglilift ka ng dumbbells. Tapos magpo-pull-ups ka. Like, all in like 30 seconds.
What?
Yeah. I mean, that's exaggerating, but that's how it is. It's like, parang superset.
Parang siyang superset.
Yeah, like all the time you just move on. Which, supersets are great, by the way, because that shit really keeps your heart rate going. But damn. Bahala na. Yeah.
Feeling ko hindi ko kaya.
Yeah.
No, but then again, I like a challenge.
Oh, Rika and I are gonna. I know we've been working out. We're gonna work out after we record this. Siguro. Shout out Anytime Fitness. Boom, boom, boom.
I need to. Shout out to Anytime kasi you guys have been giving us.
Shoot it.
Actually, I need to work out kasi nga my weekend consists of like
eating. Buffet na. Ako
Buffet.
din.
4 buffets.
Pampanga, di ba? Pampanga. So yeah, that's it. That's it for.
Baby.
That's it. Ano? What did you say?
That's it, baby.
That's it, baby. Any shoutouts muna?
Oo nga.
Sige nga.
Shoutout po sa mama ko. Hello po.
Nandito na ako sa Halo Show.
Andito po ako sa lungsod. Lungsod.
Jason Valdez. I'm just going through IG. Jason Valdez, Ardentico, si Deadpool, of course, and the team over there, and si Press, si Adrian.
Yes, si Pressman?
Hindi. Isa Pressman. Si Pressman. Hunger Gens, the
Wait,
Game
where are you
Silog
looking?
Show.
Instagram?
Twitter. Si Timstagrams, our Redditor friend over there. Sino pa ba?
Saying hello to when John tweets. Hello, sabi niya, I miss Molito. Listening to the previous.
Yeah, that's right.
Sabi niya, Yushukan and Ice Flower are the bomb. Best karaage in Manila. Really?
What's
I like
Ice
karaage.
Flower?
Yung shaven ice na masarap. What do you call that?
Parang Korean.
Yeah, yung Korean ice shaven thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Letter B.
Bulgogi.
Bibimbap.
No. Oh shit! What's the name of that? I know what you're talking about too.
Oh my goodness! You guys are gonna hate us. Korean ice.
Korean ice dessert. Okay, anyway, I'll look that up.
Okay, so sabi niya kasi he's from BF. So hello to John tweets.
Internet.
Hello also to Matthew Magadia listening to Wake Up with Jim and Sab. That's the Morning Rush. OG podcasts. And then us, the Halo Show.
I-tweet mo nga, Jim and Sab, plug para ma-plug kami sa podcast nila.
Pare, mare. Muksta naman kayo dyan.
You know what's cool that I listen to Jim and Sab? I like when they do those deep dives in, well, they call it deep dive, when they talk about mga TV shows and stuff. So I think that's really cool.
Hello to Jenny Jen.
Oh, hindi hear that. Bingsu, by the way.
Bingsu.
There you go. I found it.
Eric Andrada. Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sabi niya kasi proud Leche fan here. I love the Raw podcast. Ever since Mix 1. So, shout out naman. Birthday greetings on Mix 23.
Sup.
Sabi ni Hazel, wow, may pa-cute moment siya. Sabi niya, ang cute ng accent ni It's Me, JC. Kapag sinasabi niya yung binibining.
Binibining.
Wow.
Paano ba? Binibining, di ba?
Binibining Pilipinas. Sasabihin mo ko.
Binibining Pilipinas. Tama, di ba?
Kasi binibining ka eh.
Ano ba dapat?
Binibini.
Binibini. Hindi binibining. Di ba?
Kasi ganito ka eh. Binibining.
Paano ba dapat?
Binibining. No,
may pause. Binibining. Hindi binibining.
Hindi binibining.
Kaya pala cute eh.
Binibining Pilipinas.
What's that sound? Do you hear that sound?
Yeah,
okay,
it's a ghost.
Anyway, we're ending this soon.
Okay, so nakakita na naman ako this weekend, but I didn't care.
What? You can't end the podcast like that. What the fuck?
It's just like random.
We'll find out Mix 24.
Dito pa naman pumapasok lagi. Here, in this room.
Oh my, why are you talking? What?
It's normal.
It's not Halloween yet.
But it's normal. Plus, they don't.
It's not normal.
It's normal.
It's not. It's paranormal.
No, it's because I've seen them.
Thank you to Mickle, which rhymes with ghost pickle.
Pickle. We're in a pickle. Yeah.
MICKLE for our microphones. Check it out at Lazada. Less than 1.5. Just buy it over there, sucker. Yun lang.
Oh, they're gonna have a sale, by the way.
Oh, di ba? Baka may Mickle, ano.
Malay ninyo. There we go.
Social media natin.
At the Halo Halo Show on Twitter. And then, if you guys are gonna tag us on Instagram, it's just at Halo Halo Show.
Oh, di ba you wanted to do something? Ano?
Right.
Yeah, try that.
Okay.
Let's see if anyone will do it. Email.
This is a new thing that we want to do here on our podcast. We just want you to send in stories, good vibes stories. If you saw someone helping out a lola in the street or something like that. Anything that would just put a smile on someone else's face. A story that happened to you or to a friend or something like that. So send us an email.
Yes, thehalohaloshow@gmail.com. Just let us know.
Yeah, it could be a story, a photo, or whatever.
Wala pa tayong mailbag section, no? I mean, there should be
or like
cool
a PO
name.
box.
What would be a cool name for that? Anyway, let us know. What would be a cool email portion?
Yeah. And then...
Leche-Fan Mail. But, I mean, we never really continued that. Maybe we could do that. Maybe that will be cool.
Yeah. So we'll think about it. But yeah, you guys can send in stories, happy stories, inspirational stories would be good also. Basta, it could be super funny, it could be super just nice and everything. Yeah. So there. Send us an email and then everything, put the hashtag the Halo Halo Show, okay?
Chillin'. Yeah, we out of here.
Bye.
Later. Ano? Later.
Bye.